Oh, it's that time of the week again. Yes, we are about to get into it all. Did you watch What Happens When Kim was mentioned? That's right. Joe Gorga says he loves Kim D. Melissa says, oh, she's still relevant. We're still talking about her. Well, this is news to my ears. It was news to Kim's ears too, but stuff happened even before this week between Joe Gorga and Kim. So Kim shares all of that. She shares something she found out about Teresa and Luis. We talk about the show, and I've got some words from Miss Teddi Mellencamp. So, but really, it's about the Gorgas and Kim and what's going on in real life now. So, listen to a few clips and then head on over to Patreon and enjoy your Saturday, guys. Ignited feud.
Well, no, the guy said, Melissa, what do you think about Kim D tweeting out that Joe's a coward? And she's like, well, Kim D somehow, still makes herself relevant. She doesn't go away. Then, you got to give her credit for that. But anyway, so then they switched to Joe Gorga and he goes, I love Kim D. I have to say I love Kim D. And then they switched back to Melissa. Melissa goes, you know what? I happen to like Kim D too. And then they dropped it, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But in the interim of all of this, before Watch What Happens Live, one of my mutual friends with Joe, who he does business with, it's a woman, calls me up and said, Joe feels bad. He wants to, he has nothing but good things to say about you. He's sorry about hurting your feelings. He's sorry about saying these things. He doesn't mean it. He likes you. He was blaming it on the fact that he's a comedian, but nothing that was said was funny. And he goes, he reached out basically apologizing, like he didn't want to, he's sorry he said it. So I'm like, okay, I'll accept that. So it is what it is. One, because they know how I am. Two, because they know now we have a platform here that we're going to hit back for all of them. I don't care who it is. We're going to hit back. Okay. You want to hit us first? We're going to hit you back.
You say that they know how you are.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
And I'm going to say whatever I need to say. And there's not going to be any repercussion for me. There might be repercussion for you, but there's no repercussion for me. Okay. I'm an open book. Now, let me go to one other thing that's going to be discussed down the road. I have major connections with both sides of the law. Okay. I was just told today about something so major about Luis Ruelas. I'm going to say his real name. When I tell you major, David, major, it's not good. I've been saying it since we started this. Shut your big fat mouth. Stop saying what you're doing. Stop saying all that shit. Stop saying it. Enough for nothing. I'm going to say this. I'm going to give, this is shocking. I'm going to give Joe Gorga a pass right now. And Melissa, I'm going to tell you why. This is something we're all missing. Remember, on Watch What Happens Live, Andy said, have you spoken to Teresa since the reunion? And Melissa says no. So remember, their loyalty against me was for her. And now I think they realize that Teresa has loyalty to no one. So they don't owe her anything. So if they want to like me, or if they want to be nice to me when they see me, they fuck Teresa. They don't care. They don't care anymore. So now they have the right to do what they want to do, So Teresa's no freaking good. And all you tree huggers are going to see, you're going to see what happens to your girl. You're going to see. And Kim D was right again. You're going to see coming down the pike, honey. You never know when you're going to see me checking into Envy. So David, there's some stuff about you too. Let's rock and roll. Let's get on to you.
Well, here's the thing about me, and then we'll put this to a bed. This whole thing came out about like it's kind of like you say, we're going to hit back no matter who you are. Now, listen, last week after all of this happened and I was the mole and all this other bullshit, I start getting these DMs, tons of DMs. You were being mentioned on the two T's in a pod with Miss Tamara Judge and Miss Teddi Mellencamp. And I'm like, excuse me? Now, mind you, right, excuse me? So So the gist of what was being said was they were shading you. Now, before we get to this brilliance of Teddi Mellencamp, I then reached out to my good friend, Miss Tamara Judge. And I'm like, And if you think about it, if you close your eyes and I say Real Housewives of Orange County, you are going to think first of Vicki Gunvalson, and I think second of Tamara. Tamara is a legendary housewife. I am sorry. So now there's this woman, and people did say it was mostly Teddi. There's this woman, Teddi. Right. So first of all, I mean, people start in the beginning and they figure out their career and then they make their way to the top. So
of course.
So right.
Of course.
So first of all, I mean, let's boil this down. This woman is basically trying to make me feel bad about things in my past. Like, everyone out there listening, don't let anyone bully you. Don't let anyone bully you into making you feel bad. And everyone listening, whatever you've done in your past, it's got you to where you are today. Don't let someone make you feel bad about something in your past.
And they're sitting there. So what did you do that you're going to knock me for what didn't happen in my life, but not for the good things that did? Same thing, David. Same thing.
Yeah, I'm like, let's boil this down. I'm like, you're trying to make you're basically saying to everyone listening that you're making fun of someone's past. Are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Isn't that ridiculous? And if you want to talk about what I was doing 3 years ago to get me to be the #1 host of the #1 podcast, I mean, we can talk about what Teddi was doing 3 years ago. She was a paid housewife on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and now she's fired. So if you want to go back to 3 years ago, Teddi, you were a housewife and you have now been fired. And let me tell you something here. I'm going to break some shocking news to you, Kim, because you broke some shocking news to me.
Can't wait.
Do I think Tamara's going to be back on the OC next season? I don't think so. I don't think that's the direction the show's going, but it is possible. Right. It's possible. Tamara is
right.
Is Teddi, let me tell you something right now. I'm going to break some news. Teddi Mellencamp will never, I can say this with all certainty, ever be back on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It will never happen.
I agree with that.
She was fired from being boring. When people talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Teddi's name isn't even in the top. She's literally like next to last. She's one of the worst housewives that's ever existed. And she will never, now we have Girls Trip, so she can take her desperate fame whore ass and look at what she was doing 3 years ago, because that was the height of her life, and now she is fired.
At least you went up.
Exactly.
You went up. That's what you people do. They go up.
Yes. And that's
what successful people do.
It is. And the lesson here is, people listening, don't let a bully like Teddi Mellencamp shade you of things you've done in the past.
That's right. So what about we get into the show?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So
let's do it. And yes, Kim takes us on a detour. I got some more to say to Miss Teddi Mellencamp. Kim has a lot more to say to Melissa and Joe. Have they really made up? Is this now a truce between the Gorgas and Miss Kim D? Well, that's been years in the making. So head on over to Patreon, and yes, we do break down the show as well. Enjoy. Happy Saturday.